Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and if it turns out to be of any interest, I might post it. We'll see what happens. Feels strange to be sitting in a room talking to myself, basically. But anyway, Mike Ryan suggested to me that he liked when people put up music stuff, but gave it a bit of context, you know. So he said, he suggested I should just try out something like this. So I don't know. I'm just going to talk. Going to be pretty random. I have nothing prepared or anything like that. I'm just looking at my albums over here, and I'm just going to grab the first one that comes to hand, which is this. Do you remember this album? If you're of a certain vintage, hold on, I'll try to get it on. Yeah. What the thing about this one actually, Paul Simon's greatest hits, and it was an early greatest hits package, because I was about 8 when this came out. I'd say. Oh no, yeah, 1973 or no, 1977. So I was 13 actually. 'Cause it feels like I was younger. We were still living in the old house up in Patrick's Road, and I think so anyway. So the thing about this album, I didn't know anything about Paul Simon, or well, no, I would have heard Simon and Garfunkel alright, but there was a TV advertising campaign for this. Does anybody remember it? Because I remember it very well. It was very funny. The ad was, and it's not on you on it's not on the internet. I have tried to find it there one time. The ad was this guy, kind of sad looking guy sitting on a bench in Central Park probably, or some park, and this lovely looking girl sits down on the same bench, and he's desperate to kind of impress her, and he pulls out of the bag beside him, he pulls this album, and he starts kind of looking at it and kind of pushing it into her face almost, to impress her that he has the Paul Simon album. And I have to say, um, even though he had great albums after or since, obviously the Graceland thing and all that, there's something about this collection, and maybe it's just a nostalgia thing. But I think the song that they used, no, I was going to say it was Slip Sliding Away, but I think the song they used in the ad might have been 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And yeah, there's something about the sound of that, isn't there? Goddamn, talk about the sound. Bit of a trouble with an extension lead there. Yeah, Slip Sliding Away, of course. Yeah, just the other night, my two boys were watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. There's a great scene where Larry and Cheryl are sitting in their living room listening to the Slip Sliding Away, and Larry's singing along with the odd word that he knows. Yeah, so Paul Simon, yeah, it's a lovely album. It's one of the first albums I bought. It goes back so far, I don't even have a date on it. But I started dating the albums because, uh, you know, I'm a self-confessed nerd about things. Like I have lists of my albums and lists of gigs I was at and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Paul Simon's Greatest Hits, lovely album. No, I'm just gonna grab another one here. Oh, there goes the cable again. I've just paused the music for a moment. So yeah, some of you will be already noticing this album in my hand. Who's this guy? Before you see the name, of course, it's Muddy Waters. Now, Muddy. First time I saw Muddy, like the first time I saw Joni, first time I saw Neil, probably. First time I saw Van, and the first time I saw the band was, of course, The Last Waltz. A seminal moment, really, that film. Saw it in the Royal Cinema in Limerick in 1978, and it kind of almost set my musical agenda for quite a while. The new wave thing was going on at the same time. Took me a while to get there with that though. But Muddy, I'll tell you, the honest truth is, when I saw Muddy on the last waltz, I thought he was flipping great, and he seemed incredibly old, and he was quite a lot older than the rock and roll guys, but he was only 61 or something like that. And now, of course, they're all performing in their 70s and going into their 80s, and yeah, there was something really elemental about that music. I loved it, and I also found it kind of hard as well because it's got a lot of repetitive thing going on. Do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. And yeah, I bought a live album then. He had his kind of career revival around that time. The Hard Again album was just amazing. But this would have been all later on that I discovered these. I bought a live album. It's just called Muddy Mississippi Waters Live. I bought it for Aileen, my sister, for Christmas. And yeah, I thought the sound was fantastic, but I did find this repetitive kind of phrasing kind of difficult for a while. But I mean, I just kind of realized that, as time went by, that with any kind of music that's, did you use the word ethnic? Um, you seem to get that, like, I mean, you have to listen to Irish music a lot before you begin to hear the subtle differences in the melodies of the jigs and whatnot, and African music would be similar in that way, and reggae, So yeah, there was that for a while, getting used to that and getting to the point of distinguishing um, one song from another, really. But yeah, that live album was brilliant, and then I would have got The Heart Again, I think, and then this is the Chess Masters album. That was a series Chess Records did. Chess Masters, Bo Diddley, Chess Masters, Howlin' Wolf, Sonny Boy Williamson, I'm sure they did, and this album is one that goes back a long way. I wonder do I have a date on this one? Uh, February '82 in Galway. Yeah, that was. I was probably up in Galway for a gig. We went up to Galway for a lot of gigs around that time. I'm sure people remember that. There was a stage where the Savoy wasn't being used so much, and a lot of bands that were coming on tours of Ireland were playing Dublin, Cork, Belfast, and Galway, and they were missing out Limerick, and there was loads we missed in Limerick. U2 played in Leisureland a couple of times, didn't come to Limerick. Simple Minds, Joe Jackson, Big Country, Bumped on Rats. All these people played in Galway and they didn't come to Limerick, And so we were up. Oh yeah, UB40 as well. I know. I kind of lost interest in UB40 with the whole Red Wine kind of show band type thing that they got going. But they were a great band and they were a great live band, and we saw them in Galway. First time I met Paul Healy of the Groove and of the outfit, of course, was after a UB40 gig. I have a bit of a funny story there, but I don't think I'll go into it now. Um, yeah, so how did I get onto Galway and gigs? Oh yeah, I bought this album in Galway. This was before I went to college in Galway. So I must have been up there for a gig or something and spotted this album. Probably bought it in Chicago. But yeah, double album of Muddy stuff from the '50s. The stuff he did in the '70s, Hard Again and I'm Ready and King B. They're all lovely albums and great albums and really well produced by Johnny Winters and great band and all that. But the computer here, what's going on? Sorry about this now. Am I still with you? Sorry about that. Maybe I'll be able to clip that out. Anyway, yeah, that stuff he did in the '70s was fantastic. Great career revival. And then, but the stuff from the '50s, and I should have done a bit of research now because I used to know all the names of all the guys that would have been in his band at that time. But sure, I can't remember now. Doesn't matter anyway. But you see the list of songs here, and so many of them are just standards. Like, you know, obviously Manish Boy. I Just Want to Make Love to You. Van Morrison made that his own in the Too Late to Stop Now gig, of course. Rolling Stone. I'm Ready. Hoochie Coochie. That's Hoochie Coochie Man. And Can't Be Satisfied. Walking Blues. Rolling and Tumbling, which Bob Dylan's. What album was it? It was the one after Love and Theft. Modern Times, maybe. Dylan just basically just completely took the rolling and tumbling riff and wrote a song, and it was a really good song. And I looked at the credits, and there's no sign of any credit for Muddy Waters on it, written by Bob Dylan. And I think he got into trouble over that because I don't know exactly what happened, if anything did happen, but I noticed that on the next album there was another song that had a very strong Muddy Waters riff to it, and Muddy was credited on that one. So I'd say his estate must have had something to say about the way Bob used rolling and tumbling. Anyway, so that's the Muddy Waters album, Chess Masters, a beaut, an absolute beaut. And I mean, 1982, so in another 2 years, I've had this 40 years, and I think it's due a run on the old record player. So that's Paul Simon and Muddy Waters. That'll do us for now. We're up over 11 minutes on this. All right, take care.